Hey y'all, Darla here with Growing Tropical. You want to add a tropical flair to your window boxes? Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm out here in my front porch area and I'm getting ready to plant up this beautiful Wayfair planter box. If you guys remember, I did a video last year and I'm going to try to remember to pop it in the link below. And it was where we actually purchased these Wayfair window boxes. We purchased, I believe, 4 of them. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And they are the self-watering window boxes and they're absolutely wonderful. I am loving them and I'm loving it even more that they are self-watering, and that I wasn't real sure how it was all going to work, but anyway, long story short, they are working fantastically. But this particular window box, again, this is under my front porch area. This gets a very bright light up here. I'm gonna say probably, yeah, I'm gonna say medium to bright light in here. It really depends. You know, this is actually looking out is the west facing, but because we have all of these palm trees and everything, it gets a very, very filtered light. So for the most part, I can grow quite a bit out here as far as like house plants and stuff like that. So I am loving the fact that we've got this window box that I can elevate all these beautiful tropical plants out here. But anyway, last year, again, this is the second time that I planted up this window box. And last year when I did this, let's see, these two guys were the same. These are the Dracaena. I believe these are the Marginata, if I'm not mistaken. And then this guy, it was about I'm gonna say probably December or January, I bought this other Dracaena. This is, I believe, a dragon tree, if I'm not mistaken. And anyway, they are just absolutely loving this window box. But what I did was I had a couple of things in here that were just starting to get a little bit tired, so I went ahead and pulled them out. One of the things actually that I was a little upset about was I had put a alocasia poly in here, and it did so well for months and months and months and months. It went through pretty much the winter months, and I guess it was around January sometime or whatever, I noticed that it started getting, or actually it would have been the end of last year. I noticed where it was getting like spider mites. So, but it was very, very minimal. So I went ahead and I treated it really, really well. And it seemed to be doing okay. And then all of a sudden we had a very humid winter. And I came out here and the leaves were just ick. They just looked awful. And sometimes, you know, actually there's really no time. Once a spider mite, you know, infest the leaf, there's really no coming back from that. You really have to like trim it off or pull it out or whatever. In this case, I just went ahead and pulled it all out. And so what I did was I pulled those out, threw them away, and then I cleaned about halfway down. I cleaned the soil out really good. I sprayed it really good. It's been sitting for a while, dormant. And then what I've done was I went ahead and I just added a fresh layer of actually it's potting soil, actually not, I was going to say topsoil. That's not correct. It is potting soil. And so I went ahead and added some fresh in here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting some really, really pretty tropical plants in. Let me show you. The first one that I am super, super thrilled with is this Chinese evergreen, or aglaonema. I've been growing these for a couple of years now, and I got to tell you, they're probably up on the top of my list as far as plants with really pretty foliage color. They remind me a little bit of the coleus, and the fact that the coloring of the leaves and stuff, or the variegation in the leaves, and they come in like such a variety of colors, much like the coleus do. There's really not much by the way of flowering. I do believe it has like a funky stalk that comes up, if I'm not mistaken, but for the most part they don't really flower, and that's kind of the way the coleus are too. They put on that little tiny flower spike, and I always pinch it off. Some people like it. I think it's just a matter of preference, but these guys, they are known for their foliage color, and they're absolutely beautiful. They come in a variety of colors. This one is just the pink. I'm gonna bring it up to the camera here, but it's the like a reddish pink and the green leaves. They have the lighter pink, they've got light green, they've got, oh gosh, just the variation. If I can find some pictures, I'm gonna pop it up on the screen so you can see like the plethora of colors that they actually come in. But one of the things that I really like, or the second thing I guess I should say that I like so much about this Chinese evergreen is the fact that as long as I've been growing them, I have had no issues with like insects or pests and disease and stuff like that. And that thrills me to death because there's so many things living here in South Florida with our humid climate. we get so much by the way of downy mildew and aphids and spider mites and leaf miners, and I mean, you name it. You know, I'm always plagued with having to do something, and so far, I've grown these in the house. I've got them on my back patio. I've got them under our pool cabana, and now I'm going to bring them out and put them under the front porch. And I'm really hoping, and you can see that they should just add such a pretty look to this front flower bed. And I think it'll just look really pretty with this really spiky Dracaena. So I'm going to be putting 2 of these guys in here. And then the second one that I'm going to be doing is the Kimberly Queen Fern. Also, it is considered, I believe, a sword fern, if I'm not mistaken, because the spikes are the leaves. What would you call those? Are those leaves? Anyway, the fern is very spiky. And anyway, I thought that would add some real pretty texture, not to mention it's very tropical. And all of these plants so far, let's see, the Dracaena, the Chinese evergreen, and even the fern, they all require the same amount of light. I can go anywhere from a medium to a bright light as long as they don't get any kind of full-on sun, especially living here in South Florida. They could not tolerate that. They would just turn really brown in a heartbeat. But where they're located in the front, I've got all these palm trees that are lining the front here, and everything that comes in is dappling out in the yard. But then as we get up underneath here, it's very filtered. So they should do really well. But I thought what I'd do is I pop them in here as well. And I'm not sure if I'll pop it into the side here, but anyway, I've got 2 of those I'm going to be putting in. And then the third one that I've got in here is the good old reliable Pothos. These, I don't think you can kill them unless you just go for a month or 2 and you don't water them, and then they'll just wilt. And then if you water them again, they'll come right back. These are I would recommend Pothos to anybody who is a new gardener. They were one of my first plants that I started growing many years ago when I started growing, plants, and especially for inside the house, because they do really well even in low light conditions. So if you've got, my home, the inside of my home, I don't really have a lot of really big windows where it lets a lot of light on. I've got one south facing window that I put a table under that I can grow this type of stuff on. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They can grow in very low light conditions, but they will do spectacular here. And I thought they would just add a really pretty cascading effect, because their runners and everything come over and just kind of fall out to the front. So that is what I'm going to be putting in this front window box. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually add a little bit of fertilizer, organic fertilizer in this, and churn it all up. And then I'm going to go ahead and pot these up. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll take a look at just how pretty, hopefully, they're going to look. Okay, what do you guys think? Doesn't it look beautiful? And I think it just packs such a beautiful tropical punch. That's exactly what I think of when I see these beautiful Chinese evergreens in here. These are just so spectacular, and I'm going to start putting these more in containers, because I think they're just absolutely beautiful, and they're so versatile. They go with so much, and again, I don't have a problem, knock on wood, with any kind of bugs and disease at this point, and that just thrills me me to death, but I just love it, and I think it looks so pretty. So you guys, it has been so much fun, and I love doing stuff like this, and I'm getting really excited for as we go into the summer months for us to be able to put more and more things in like this. So I hope this was inspirational for you guys to get out. We are living right now in a time where we just need to have this kind of, we need to kind of have this for our health. This is essential for our well-being and our health, to be able to have beautiful things like this growing in our gardens, whether it be one single Chinese evergreen or a whole window box full of them. It doesn't really matter. It makes us happy. So anyway, until the next video, you guys, bye.